Comprehending what consent and abuse are isn't always easy. We sent Melissa Harris out to find out more.
The fine line between consent and abuse is often misunderstood when it comes to sexual misconduct. Learning and acknowledging the difference between the two can help prevent and reduce the amount of undesired sexual assaults on our campus and help you steer clear of any illegal activity.
Sexual abuse is a very broad term. And to be honest with you, it's not all that easy to describe. Each case is different, but sexual abuse would probably have something to do with the sexual nature when someone is either, you have charge of somebody, someone is in your control, and you have a fiduciary duty over them. That's more often, a lot of time, where sexual abuse occurs.
The term the university uses, effective consent, is different from a legal perspective. Effective consent means there must be mutually understandable words or actions, and everyone needs to be informed of what is going on and agree before sexual contact can occur. While this might be credible, the law says something different about consent.
Under the criminal law, it's beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a very high standard.
We always have the right to say no and to change our decision about sexual contact. It doesn't matter if you have sexual history with the person or even in the current act. You can still stop and change your mind. Saying yes or no is the best option, but when it comes down to it, those words are rarely used.
In a situation where there is intimacy getting ready to occur, a lot of times the words, "oh, I want to do it," or "yes, I do," don't really come up. It's just communicated by words and actions, and that's what people think is consent.
The fine line between what consent and abuse is can be a blur. Knowing the difference between the two, no matter what state of mind you are in, can help you avoid a possible run-in with a sexual abuse. Alcohol and drugs can limit our judgment to make the right choices.
You know, in the spur of the moment, in the dark of the night, in the early morning hours, events occur. Next morning, when clear minds are thinking, that's when most of the real problems begin.
Alcohol, drugs, and other narcotics have become a huge issue in most of the sexual assaults that occur on campus. Someone is unable to give consent if they are unconscious or too intoxicated from alcohol or drugs. In a state when these drugs are involved, the amount of sexual violence is rising.
Men and women, male and female, if you take drugs and alcohol out of it, if you set a rule that you're not going to be out in the wee hours of the morning, you're never going to put yourself in inappropriate places, I would say a lot of these problems would end.
In the end, saying no or being unable to say no is no longer considered consent. If you're not careful, you could end up in trouble having to use these resources. For Pete's Corner, I'm Melissa Harris.